Let us go through the most important and most commonly asked HR interview questions and answers. Tell me about yourself. This is one of the first questions you are likely to be asked. Be prepared to talk about yourself and why you are an ideal candidate for the position. The interviewer wants to know why you are an excellent fit for their job description. So try to answer questions about yourself without giving too much or too little personal information. There is a detailed separate video for this question, so I'm linking that video in this. So please go through that and be prepared really well. There are also many sample answers there. Still, I'm going to give few tips to answer this question. Do not ask the interviewer what he or she wants to know about you. You may be asking genuinely, but that might sound just rude to them. Do not speak what is already there in the resume. The interviewer wants to know what they have not seen on the resume, and do not speak about anything personal. Even if you are covering what you are in your resume, try to give some bullet points like a pitch. Introduce yourself by including certain adjectives like problem solving, innovation, tech savvy, creative, quick learner, and such strong words that describe you in your personal life as well as your professional life to boost your chances. Cover what you have accomplished in your career and what work you have already done in the past company if you have a lot of experiences, which can help you in this position and how it is correlated to this job application. You can also try why you want the position and how this particular job is going to be a perfect job for you. Focus only on your strengths that are linked or related to this particular job. So let's see a sample answer. I am an energetic person, an effective communicator, and a quick learner. Please note down all the strong words here. I was also one of the top students in my batch while I was pursuing my degree. I worked on various projects related to the software domain which you provided in your job description. I have worked on developing various enterprise level web applications for helping companies to solve their problems. So I believe I am a good fit for technology oriented role like a development role in your company. What are your salary expectations? Questions about money are always tricky to answer. You don't want to sell yourself short or price yourself out of a range. In some locations, employers are legally prohibited to ask your salary history or salary slip, but they can ask how much you expect to get paid. Do your research before meeting so that you will be prepared to name a salary range. If you are asked, there are several free online salary range providers like I personally use glassdoor.com. You can see the salary ranges to the job title, based on job title, even to the same company that you have applied for. You can also provide a reasonable range based on the job title, the employer, the location, and your experiences, skills. To be prepared for this question. But also when the HR asks such question, it does not mean that you are selected for the next round of interview. This is the information that they need to have so that they could check whether your salary range is coming within their range. What makes you the best person for the job? So the hiring manager would want to know whether you have all the required qualifications. So be prepared to explain why you are the perfect applicant who should be hired. Make your response a confident, concise, focused, like a sales pitch that explains what you have to offer to them and why you should get the job. This is a good time to review the qualifications and the requirements in the job listing so that you can craft a response that aligns with their expectations. Tell me about the gap in your resume. This question comes up only when the interviewer finds something interesting and out of ordinary in the resume. Most of the companies allow up to 3 months of gap between jobs. They ignore it and accept it. But if it is more than 3 months, maybe you should be prepared for it. Some examples could be a job that could be unrelated to what you are seeking, or a job that lasted only for some months or very few months. So the outright gap between two consequent jobs might be very interested. So the HR wants to make sure that the gaps are not due to any red flags. So some sample answer could be, after the completion of my bachelor's degree, I started working continuously for 8 years without taking any break. This sort of continuous and monotonous work impacted my productivity and also harmed my work-life balance. Hence, I decided to take a break of 6 months to clear my mind, make amendments with my family, and also do some world travel to different places. I also gained some lessons during this break, some important work-life balance, how to do a perfect work-life balance, organizational ability, time management, and communication skills, and also a fresh new perspective of life. Why do you want to work for our company? Another popular question asked by most of the interviewers to make sure that the candidate has understood the job requirements and help the interviewer to understand the reason behind choosing their company for that job. Never underestimate this question. You should answer this question in such a way that the interviewer gets convinced fully that you are a great fit for this role. So talk about the past projects that you had worked on that matches the requirements of current role. Talk about your career aspirations that are associated with this job role. Have the knowledge about the company's vision, mission, and the work it has done in recent years that came in the media. So avoid talking about salary and avoid talking about any bad thing about your current employer. So some sample answer could be like, I feel that with my current skill sets and my experience, the job requirements presented perfectly matches with my experiences. I could visualize myself in that role as it aligns with my career aspirations, skills, and expertise. Besides, I have researched about your company and found that it has impressive and promising projects which made me excited to be a part of the amazing future. I would take pride in working under the great leadership of this company, and I found this place to be a perfect fit for utilizing my expertise along with the promising aspects of your growth. What are your greatest strengths and weaknesses? HR ideally asks this question to get to know more about your characteristics and your ability. It is also one of the standards and most commonly asked question. So start by stating the strongest skills and qualities that can be of great match to the job. Be ready with a backup claim for each of the strengths that you mention, where you could tell a story of. Hence, avoid speaking of the strengths that you do not possess or if you do not have a valid points. Do not tell any weaknesses that can potentially jeopardize your candidature. Do not mention more than 2 weaknesses, for example, and always mention how you overcome such a weakness and how you improved over time. Sample answer could be, I think one of my greatest strengths is that I am a great team player. I'm also a self-motivated and quick learner. Whatever task that I set to do, I always give my best and complete it diligently well in advance. My weaknesses would be that I am learning to master people skills while meeting new individuals. I get nervous while talking to new people. I have been working on this for quite a long time and I have improved a lot. Why are you looking for a change? Yet another commonly asked question for experienced candidates. Here the interviewer wants to understand what made you to look for a different opportunity and identify if there are any red flags. Whatever is the reason for changing your job, do not talk negatively about the current employer. Do not talk about how bad the working environment, how poor the salary is with your ex-employer or was. They are of no concern to the interview, right? Keep the answer very professional without sharing your problems and negativity. So sample answer could be, the reason why I am looking for change is that I feel like now it is a time to expand my horizon. I have worked in my current company for a quite long time, and while I am grateful to all the opportunities that were presented to me, I want to go beyond my current role and explore different opportunities and challenging roles. I believe that your company will be the perfect place for me to grow myself as an individual. There might be cases where you might have been laid off due to budget, pandemic situations, or management constraints. In these cases, you have to convey few things to the recruiter. So you can mention like it happened due to an unforeseen event and it was not your fault. Maybe your company was not doing well and they have to close the business. You still have a positive mindset about various opportunities that are available in the market. So sample answer can be like the client that I was working for was leaving the market and hence our company was forced to dissolve the department. Unfortunately, I joined in that position very recently and hence my duration with this company was very short. I do not have any regrets though, as I was extremely happy due to the learning opportunities and all other opportunities which presented me and I have learned a lot in the previous career. How do you handle stress and pressure? The employer wants to know how you will handle such stressful situation at workplace. So other ways of asking similar question is like, do you work well in high stress situations, or what do you do when something goes wrong at workplace? The best way to respond to this type of question is to share an example of how you have successfully handled stress in a previous position. Avoid claiming that you never or rarely experience stress. Rather, formulate your answer in a way that acknowledges the workplace stress and explains how you have overcome it or even used it to your advantages. What is your biggest achievement so far? Make sure to discuss only your work-related achievements as much as possible. Pick up the most recent achievement of yours at workplace. Sample answer could be, I have achieved several milestones to date in my career as a software developer. The most recent one is of the time when we were working on a critical component of a product permitting to customer payments. We were working round the clock for around 2 months and I was a very core developer. I was made a lead to this component for completing the task in just 2 months. To meet the deadline, I ensured that we upskilled ourselves to learn all the aspects of the development of this module and also brought in a few more resources to complete it faster. I mentored them. I also did a very transparent knowledge sharing sessions and gave a lot of meetings. Post the development, I trained our team to support the platform proficiently. Ultimately, we could complete the product well in advance of the 2 months deadline. When the product was launched, the higher management was super proud of us and our team was awarded for our outstanding performance in the quarterly town hall. It was a very proud moment for me. Where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Now this question is trickiest among all. This can prove to be a trap and you might not even be aware of it. While the question might seem casual, the main purpose of this question is to find out how long you are planning to stay in the company and how your visions and future plans fits with the company's vision. You might be tempted to answer honestly by saying things about your plans for higher studies, your plans to start a new startup, your plans to becoming a hiring manager, or a very different role. Your plans might be totally different in long term. If you do not have a plan, then you can simply tempted to say you do not have a plan at all. These are things the viewer does not want to hear from you. So hence avoid giving such bad answers. The recruiter is only interested in knowing how long you are planning to stay in the company and how satisfied you are with the current position you are going to be hired. So sample answer could be, over the next 5 years, I would love to utilize all the opportunities that your company provides me to learn by utilizing the internal and external training programs, conferences, hackathons, and many more. My ultimate career goal is to become a technology architect, and hence I would look for developing various products that represent the vision of your company and goals. And I would like to be part of making a great difference in this world along with your esteemed company. What are your career goals? This question is designed to find out if you are going to stick around or move on as soon as you find a better opportunity. This is very similar to previous question. So please keep your answer focused on the job and the company you are applying for, and reiterate to the interviewer that the position aligns with your long-term goals. Tell me about a time where you experienced difficulty at work while working on a project. Now this is a very broad question and very difficult. This question is asked to assess what are the things that you consider as difficult and how you go about solving this difficulty. While answering this, focus on describing a problem that was related to your work. Do not answer negatively. The interviewer should be made to understand the cause of the problem and how you solved it or how you overcome it. So avoid bringing up personal problems from your life. Focus on the learnings of the problem rather than dwelling too much on the damage part. The sample answer could be, there was a time in my current company when I received a bug report from our client which stated that the databases were performing below their standards when a complex query was called excessively from the user interface or the website. The first thing I did was checking the logs to perform the root cause analysis. Doing this gave me a very more detailed idea regarding where the bug started appearing. I reported the bug only on the production server, and I tried replicating the same on the test systems and my local system. While debugging, I found that there was a bug in the code where some lines were commented out by the junior developers who had already left the company. I fixed this code quickly and did a round of testing on the application to ensure that this does not occur once again and really solves the problem. Since the issue was fixed at the end of the day and we were able to get the server immediately up and running with enhanced performance. We learned an important lesson to perform regression testing after every release to ensure that the old functionalities were also working fine along with the newly developed and released functionalities. Thank you.